Hello guys, so today in this video we're going to be taking a look at what if France and Germany went to war. Now, this isn't the most likely thing to happen. Oh, and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And join my Discord server, the link will be in the description below. So, I don't actually properly see this happening. But it's definitely it's not really a possibility at all, because I mean, maybe if it was back in 1940s or that, but they're kind of good allies now. I mean, they're both in NATO, both in the European Union, I think, or the EU. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. Now, we are going to have other countries joining this war, because it can't just be France and Germany. That would be quite boring. And obviously people are going to side with different people. So if we take a look here, I'm just going to do... So... just highlighting the thing people I don't want. Right, so if we take a look, France is... Or actually, Germany's going to be the aggressor. France are going to be the blue people. Now, instantly, this does cause a bit of disrupt across Europe, but not too badly, because only a couple countries do join the war, not loads. So, first thing we see is England and France having a really good relationship. So, England teams up with France. Now, this might seem a bit unfair, but Portugal does break away from England. They have a bit of a falling out, and this does cause the Netherlands and Luxembourg to join on Germany's side as well, meaning Belgium will join on France's side. So this will be the whole front for the war. Now, Portugal is probably going to send navy up to France. I mean, Spain is going to have declared they're going to stay neutral and won't let anyone have military access. So, yeah. Anyway, the war begins with the Dutch and German troops crossing over into the Belgian border. Now, Belgium was sort of pushed into this war by France, but they thought, well, yeah, it's fair enough. We got to help out our allies. So quickly doing this, the Netherlands try and cut off Belgium's access to the sea. That doesn't work, as the troops quickly arrive there from Brussels. Germany also makes a tiny little front through Luxembourg into Belgium, and starts their invasion into Alsace-Lorraine in France. It's it's a really long front line that stretches across the whole of the French, whole of the Allies' border with Germany, as England now begins to send forces down to Portugal. They have a bit of a navy battle around this area here, and it kind of ends in a stalemate, really, neutral. They just keep sending boats, keep blowing each other up. Anyway, France does start to push back the front in different areas up the top, and even manages to cut off the front that led all across. They take back all the coast and are now starting to form a really big counter-attack against the Netherlands, even crossing into not Danish, Dutch land. Anyway, Portugal, after having lots of military help from other countries who hate France and Germany and stuff, they do land in France and begin to push down. Now, there's not many troops here, so they didn't expect them to get there that fast, so now troops from all over cities are now rushing to help out France, or now rushing to defend the front line. Anyway, they do begin to stretch the front line out and are now making the front line even bigger. They surround a huge load of French troops who are trying to bait them and basically capture them all. And they also surround another load of French troops who are trying to stop them from invading and capturing them all. So with this, France has now got two fronts to worry about. Well, the UK is kind of been useless. Up until now they have been, but eventually they do land some troops in Dutch soil. They push down and instantly surround Amsterdam, which is quite good. for obviously England and all that, or the UK. But we do see that a stalemate just does converge here, and now they've got the capital surrounded. They can still get resources over the seas, but Britain are trying to control that. With Britain's navy, they sail down and land in this area of France there, and now begin to push back the Portuguese troops. They do exactly what the Portuguese did to the French and surround them at a port and take them out, but the Portuguese do hold them firm still. Meanwhile, up on the French front line, the German and French front line, the Germans are now extending their front quite deep and pretty much take all of Alsace-Lorraine. They extend through to Belgium and now are making quite a heavy push towards Brussels. After doing this, they bring out 2 spearheads that meet and cut off French troops here, and they also bring 2 spearheads, come round, and eventually they manage to surround Brussels. This isn't good for the French, as they are losing this war, you could say, because they haven't really got any territory from anywhere except this tiny bit of territory in the Netherlands. Anyway, they continue to push up into the Netherlands and meet up with the British troops, and they do take Amsterdam. With this, they're now beginning to push back the front line just a tiny bit through Belgium, and are now storming into Dutch land. I keep saying Danish. They make another successful landing at the top of the Netherlands and are continuing to push down. And now this isn't really the Netherlands, it's just what's it called? It's just French troops. And anyway, it was just not French, German troops, sorry, I ain't really thinking straight. But they do continue to push into the Netherlands and eventually cross the border into Germany. This gives Germany a sight, who are waiting there, to hit them back, and they do pound them back really far, deep up, or back into the Netherlands, and Germany continue to get deeper and deeper into the Netherlands. They also continue to damage Brussels, or just damage Brussels in general, and are now trying to push up towards the coast. If they can cut off the 2 front lines, that'd mean that the British Navy, which is the best navy in the world, they've still got a brilliant navy, but they would have to use a lot more of it, even though they are already fighting Portugal down here. Anyway, British troops do pull out of France after being held in a stalemate for that long, and are running out of supplies, which does give Portugal the AOK to now push up to where they landed. They make minor changes to the front line a little bit, but the French troops are doing well to hold them off, and even make a little tiny push back of Portuguese troops. It is at this point where countries start heavily bombing each other, which does give France the sight to begin the counter-attack. And that counter-attack is pushing into Luxembourg, but it is probably one of the most failed counter-attacks in history, as they gained a tiny bit of land. This angers the German president, I think, Prime Minister, I'm not really sure what they got. And they now push even deeper into France. They move down the Swiss border and try and capture the Alps, as that's the best thing to do, but that's a bit of a dodgy front line. They continue to push out into Belgium, but Belgian troops and French troops unite and begin to cut through the German front line. While this is happening, Brussels, after being months of siege, finally surrender, and German troops who are in Brussels have now pushed all the way up to the coast. Meanwhile, up top, the French and British now gain a hold of themselves and push very far into the Netherlands again. Oh wow. They now cut through and cut the Netherlands off from the Belgian front line and begin to push that back. After this, they're now pushing deeper and deeper into Belgium until eventually they cross over into Germany And after a lot of time, the Belgian front line falls, and also Luxembourg does as well. With this, Germany now has to amp up their defence, but that is too late, as now France and Britain have got hold of themselves. They are now pushing into Germany themselves. It is here where we see that the Dutch surrender completely and German troops pull out to defend, but the French and the British are too strong for just the Germans because the Portuguese aren't helping. It is at this point where the Portuguese just full on pull out of the war, as they see no point in continuing, as they're just losing resources and angering the people. And that kind of means that this place is unoccupied now. It's not French, but it's not anyone's, it's just there. Anyway, this doesn't really get reclaimed by France, as the people there think that they can get independence, and it's quite a wealthy state, and is drawn up that they will get their independence, and it is basically becoming now a civil war in France, which they can't really have. Anyway, French troops continue to arrive down by the Swiss border, and are now pushing out the Germans even quicker. Doing this, the Germans are now completely losing and don't really want too much to get damaged, or too much of their things. Now, they tell France if they'll stop boarding them, they'll pull out of their country, or they'll stop bombing them, they'll pull out of their country, and France reject that, continue bombing them, and continue attacking them. After a lot of fighting, crucially in French and German soil, Germany see that, they can't win this war anymore, but they have just one last push back into the Netherlands, which uses all their remaining resources and just puts them even further back than they were. After this, they cut through, make a massive spearhead, and after that, they make a massive spearhead and take Berlin. That is when we see that Germany finally gives up on the war, and the war is over. So I'm now going to draw up a peace treaty live, because I can't really edit. Now, the state down there isn't going to be the exact borders, but it'll be close. And the civil war doesn't continue past the peace treaty, because that's just silly. Anyway, so I've just got to rewind all this. Oh, I missed a bit. Okay, so we're now going to take a look at peace treaties. So first thing we're going to do is the new French state that they have to give away, which is down here now. I'm not really sure how to draw it up. I think it was something like that. It was a bit more squiggly though. Yeah, that'll do. So that's the new French state they have to give away. They give away a bit more land. I might make it a bit slimmer actually, because it looks a bit of a chunky boy. There you go. That's the state that the French have to sort of give away. And Portugal don't really lose anything. They just have to pay war reparations to France, because they were kind of blowing up the area, but then they just blew up this state, and that's not really French anymore. It gets a bit confusing. Now, the English don't really... They take overseas territory. They work out a deal with Germany to split the Netherlands in half. And that works. Now English territory, if we would have a look at blue, that's now England. That's now the UK. That's really weird. They have the sea. Anyway, that does give Germany the okay to... Well, not the okay, but in the peace treaty, they now have all of this area here to take. Belgium annexes Luxembourg, who is now not really the richest country. The money gets split out to everyone. Not Germany though, all the France, all that. And France does get a bit of Germany. Now, we're going to give Belgium their bit. Now, they get that, like just a tiny, not a tiny extension, but they get some more land. It's not a great border, I want to say, but it's okay. They sort of take that bit. France, on the other hand, wants not all their borders to be extended. They just want this huge chunk of land down here. I don't know why, but they do. Now, Germany does get split up, but in this mind, so that's quite an ugly border, but it is quite nice at the same time. They get a couple of breakaway states, such as, I can't really remember what this one's called, actually. That's not, but that's there. And also get the Hamburg state breaking away. So now we got North Germany, the German Confederation. Now we got North Germany, the Republic of Germany. Oh, actually no, we got Germany, we got Bohemia, and then we got I think Bohemia's the name. And then we got Frankfurt. Yeah, that's makes sense. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and there will be a teaser. I will be doing a series of mapping of some sort coming soon. You can probably guess what it is already. But yeah, make sure to join my Discord. The link will be in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.